Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got another top 5 video for you guys. A lot of you guys have requested another top 5 for Red Dead, and we have one for the Naturalist role. Now the Naturalist role will be coming out this Tuesday, so we got a new DLC coming out for this game this Tuesday. And in this video, we are going to be focusing on the top 5 things that the Naturalist role should and shouldn't do. These are my personal opinions, but I think that if the update did these things and avoided these things, this update would be much better. So hopefully the update doesn't do these bad things and does these good things, and let me know down below if there's any other things that you think this update should add. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Let's get started here. Top 5 things a Naturalist role should and shouldn't do. Starting off at number 5, we have extra activities and content. Now, I'm really hoping that with this DLC, we get extra stuff, not just a Naturalist role, because we've been waiting 7 months for a DLC, and since we've been waiting 7 months for a DLC, I'm hoping that this DLC is decently sized. The last DLC that we got in Red Dead Online in December of 2019, that DLC was the Moonshiners update, and we had the Moonshiners role. We also had a decently long story with that, but a few months before that, we had the Frontiers Pursuit update in September of 2019, and there we had 3 roles, the Collector, the Trader, and the Bounty Hunter. So I'm hoping that with this DLC, we get more than just a Naturalist role. I hope we get extra new missions in free mode, maybe new story missions. Maybe they'll finally end the Jessica Leclerc storyline, because I actually want to know how this storyline ends. The last time we had a story mission in this was May of 2019, so it's been over a year, and even though Mr. Lansing was killed in that last mission, his wife is still at large, and his wife was part of the plot to kill Jessica Leclerc's husband. So this conspiracy has never been truly solved. So I hope that they conclude this story, and I hope they add some extra content, some new activities in free mode, maybe even they'll add some new properties. You know, we're hoping on that. As the weeks come up ahead, we'll get more information, so hopefully we get more stuff in there, but hopefully it's not just a Naturalist role. Hopefully they have more stuff in there as well. Next at number 4, we have good rewards for time and effort. Now in this DLC, the Naturalist role, we don't know exactly how this DLC is going to work. Maybe it's going to be involving some type of photography, where you have to take pictures of certain animals, maybe you have to hunt certain animals, maybe even legendary animals. We don't know yet, but what we do know is that this role has to give us some kind of incentive to play it, so there's going to be some kind of rewards. There's obviously going to be some kind of cash system in this update. You know, is it going to be a passive business? Is this going to be like, you know, a more manual business where you actually have to go out there and look for things? Is this going to be like an activity like the Bounty Hunter? We don't know yet, but whatever this new role is, whatever this new role gives us to do, this has to have good rewards for the time and effort that you put in. If you put a lot of time and effort into this Naturalist role, then you should also get a good payout, and it doesn't always have to be a good payout involving cash. You know, they could also give you gold, and they could give you other rewards as you level up the role. So there should be some other extra rewards as you level up the role, and if you spend a decent amount of time on this role, like, you know, for instance, you guys see me right here. I am selling a trader camp right here. I'm selling my trader business. And the trader, to sell this full, this basically takes around 3.5 hours to 4 hours to sell. Because it takes about 3 hours and 20 minutes to produce, but you also gotta do resupply missions or buy the supplies, you gotta go hunting. So basically 3.5 hours to 4 hours to do this, and then you have to make this long trip across the map, and when you make this long trip across the map, you get $625. That's a pretty good payout. So for the time and effort that's put in there, that's a pretty good payout. So hopefully this update, it also has good time and effort payout, because if you put a lot of effort into this update, you spend like 3 hours on this update and you only make half of what you make with the trader business or half of what you make with the bounty hunter in those 3 hours, very few people are going to play it. So it needs to have good payouts for a lot of time and effort. At number 3, we have legendary animals. Now, since this is a Naturalist role, and we're going to be focused on looking for these animals, again, I don't know if we're going to be hunting these animals or taking pictures of them, but this update is going to have something to do with animals. Add legendary animals, if that's the case. Just like in the single player, where you go to certain parts of the map and you can find legendary animals, and you get a big reward for either taking a picture of them or hunting them, depending on, you know, what this role is going to involve exactly. But these animals, they should definitely be in the game, and I was actually surprised when Red Dead Online first came out. I was surprised there was no legendary animals, because I thought that when we would play Red Dead Online, I thought there was going to be legendary animals at first. I was wrong. There isn't legendary animals. In certain missions, you might fight stronger animals than usually, but there is no legendary animals. But I'm wondering, if they add the legendary animals, how are they going to implement this system? Is it only going to spawn with specific missions? Is it going to spawn as like a random event? Because if it spawns as like a random event, and it spawns in like certain parts of the map, I could see a bunch of players just killing each other repeatedly, everyone racing to get to the legendary animal first. So that could turn into a war zone. So hopefully they add legendary animals in this game, and hopefully, you know, they make it fun and challenging also. Moving on to number 2, we have make it fun and not be repetitive. Now, this is extremely important, and I'm really scared for this DLC. I really, really am. And what I'm scared about is I'm scared about this DLC being extremely generic, becoming very repetitive, and becoming boring pretty fast. I mean, take a look at the Bounty Hunter, for instance. The Bounty Hunter, with that role, you know, it was fun when we first played it for the first few weeks, but then afterwards, it just got repetitive, just constantly going to the same areas, looking for the target, looking for clues, knocking the target out, lassoing him, taking him back to jail, and we just kept repeating that process at different locations. It got pretty repetitive after a few months of doing that, so I really hope this doesn't happen with the Naturalist role, and my biggest fear is that it's going to be something like this mission right here. I'm doing a stranger mission. This is a mission in which you're hunting for a specific alligator for the stranger. I really hope it's not something like this, where we go to a specific area, we find a few clues, and then the animal spawns, because we've already had this in the game. Please, make this DLC fun. It has to be fun. It has to be something that we want to do. We want to have fun when we do these activities. And please, try to make it as less repetitive as possible. I understand that eventually everything gets repetitive. I fully understand that. But Rockstar, please, try to make this DLC as less repetitive as possible. It needs to be fun, and people should want to do it. They should want to play it. And number 1, the number 1 most important thing that this update should not do is do not have glitched animal spawns. This is the most important thing here. Why is this the most important thing? Animal spawns have been glitched since the Frontiers Pursuits in September of 2019. And even though they have been getting better at spawning, it has never been truly completely fixed. And as you guys can see right here, this I was playing yesterday, and I was trying to find some animals, and I spent a good amount of time riding around these Great Plains, trying to find deer, trying to find bison, trying to find other animals, and I could not find animals. I've just been riding through these plains aimlessly without any animals spawning in front of me. No animals in the distance, no animals spawning near me, nothing here. And the reason that this is the most important is because this update, the Naturalist role, if this update is focused on the environment, it's focused on studying animals, if you have an update that's focused on studying animals and animals don't spawn, that whole update is going to waste. There's going to be no point in playing that update. That whole update would be an absolute disaster. Looking back on the Moonshiners update, that update when it first launched was kind of a disaster as well. People bought Moonshine Shacks, they couldn't produce Moonshine. They would pay for the mash, the Moonshine would produce, it would glitch out, they wouldn't be able to sell Moonshine, they would be stuck in endless black screens. It still happens to a degree today, but you know, Rockstar has reduced the amount of black screens that happens on that Moonshiner glitch, so this update is probably going to have some glitches in it as well. Just hopefully they're not game-breaking glitches, and hopefully the glitches do not ruin the update. Because like I said, if this update is focused on studying animals, and animals do not spawn, that whole update will be ruined, and that whole update will be to waste. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, are there any other things that you want to see in this update and you don't want to see in this update? Let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.